Hi, today we're going to talk about the leprechaun. The leprechaun is the most well-known Irish creature. It is a type of fairy, a tiny, bearded, solitary shoemaker with a love of gold. Always depicted as male, it is sometimes suggested that leprechauns are the unwanted children of the fairies, which may be why they live solitary and are grumpy tricksters. Originally, he was depicted as elderly, dressed in red, which is the symbolic color of the fairies, and he was wearing a pointed hat, a leather apron, and glasses, and was smoking a pipe. It wasn't until the 20th century that the associated color of red was changed to green. Originally, leprechauns wore a pointed hat, but now we think of them as wearing a top hat. It is unclear exactly where the name derived from. It may come from the word leprechaun, meaning little body, leprechaun, meaning shoemaker, or leprechaun, meaning pygmy. Originally, leprechaun was used only in the North Leinster area, whereas other areas of Ireland used alternative names such as Lurichan, Luricmain, and Lurganhan. It is also interesting to note that the name may apply to other small mythical creatures, such as sprites, elves, gnomes, or even dwarves, and many other cultures, including Greece, the Philippines, Iceland, Hawaii, Indonesia, and the North American cultures, have variations of little people known for luck and trickery. It is believed the leprechaun originates from tales of the Oss-See, also known as the Sith, a group of mythical beings that are said to reside in a parallel universe and occasionally make contact with human beings. Some sources say leprechauns are derivatives of the Celtic deity Lugh, the god of the sun and arts and crafts. After the rise of Christianity, Lugh's importance diminished, and he was demoted to a shoemaking folklore character known as Lugh Cromane. Other sources say they are the descendants of the Tuatha De Danann, which were the gods and followers of paganism under the goddess Danu. It is believed that they lived in Ireland long before humans did, and that when they were no longer worshipped, they diminished in size, eventually turning their descendants into the leprechauns. Yet other sources say that leprechauns were once mighty warriors, and that they were banished by an evil magician underground, and that once they finally were released from the earth, they had become the leprechauns. The leprechaun is said to be shy and prefers to camouflage themselves, but their exact habitat is unclear. Some say they reside in woodland areas and forests, living inside tree roots and branches, but others say they live in fields, plains, or hedgerows in the country lanes. Still, others say they live inside a giant cave that has a door that can only be opened by the leprechaun king himself speaking a magical word. Other people have claimed spotting them near fairy rings, which are the ancient Celtic earthworks, also known as drulins, as well as fairy mounds, which are special grass-covered mounds which rise up like a tiny hill in the ground suddenly and are associated with the ancient Celtic settlements, known as fairy forts. However, the first record of leprechauns from the Middle Ages tells of them being sea-dwelling and attempting to drag people down into their lair. Leprechauns are known for being quick tricksters with a love of gold. You may discover one by following the sound of their cobbling, but they're super quick and will vanish as soon as you take your eyes off them. Since they do not like to be disturbed, they play tricks on anyone who does disturb them. So the best way that you could possibly catch one, or at least catch a glimpse, would be to approach quietly so you're not detected. The leprechaun is cunning and mischievous, and according to the tales, succeed in escaping along with their gold. It is said he carries 2 pouches on him, one with a silver shilling that returns to the pouch every time it's used, and the other with a gold coin that turns to ash or leaves as soon as that is used. Although it is believed he must give up his pot of treasure if he is captured. According to the tales, The capturer is always either tricked into looking away so that he can vanish, or is bribed into freeing him with the coin the leprechaun already has on him. It is also believed a leprechaun may offer up 3 wishes in place of their gold. However, the person in the tales is always either driven insane or has their wishes backfire on them. And the only way to actually claim their treasure is to find the pot's location itself. It is said the leprechaun hides its gold at the end of the rainbow, since that is the only location that humans may never find it. Still, the leprechaun has been known to have been generous on certain occasions. One tale tells of a nobleman who offered a leprechaun a ride on his horse, and when he returned to his crumbling castle, it was filled entirely with gold. Actually, as the story goes, leprechauns are only wary of humans because they themselves were tricked once long ago. A Viking and a leprechaun were friends, but the Viking tricked the leprechaun into believing he was ill so that he would be taken to their home and through their magical barrier so that he could steal their treasure. There are a few different stories as to why the leprechaun has so much gold. One is that their cobbling is very lucrative due to the fact that fairies love dancing and are in constant need of shoe repairs. Another source claims that fairies grant them a gold coin for every year of their life. Another theory says that the leprechauns also serve as the fairies' bankers, since they are the best protection for the gold. However, the first association with gold and leprechauns came from a story about Donna's invasion of Ireland and that he left all of his wealth to the leprechauns. Now, there's a lot more information that I could cover, and I will be making at least one follow-up video to this, but I hope you enjoyed, and if you would like to let me know in the comments below what creature you would like me to cover next, I would appreciate it.